What's the day been like other than press for you? What have you been up to?
All right, so I'm home for a couple days between tours, and I had some dental work to get done.
Oh shit. Okay.
A root canal retreatment, which involves basically them doing two root canals on the same
Fuck.
tooth that already had a root canal. And so, like the day I got home, root canal, and then yesterday I got a root canal again in the same tooth. Now I have a little filling, and I can go. I'm ready to go rock and roll in Australia before I come back and replace the whole tooth.
Damn, that's crazy. I can imagine like looking forward to like getting home, getting off tour, and then straight into the dentist is like a
Yeah,
pretty brutal way to get home. But I guess you got to have those teeth, got to have those shiny pearlers.
that's right, man. I try taking care of my teeth, but I've just unfortunately I've been struck in the face a lot in mosh pit scenarios.
Yeah,
So
I mean, hey, we all try, right?
yeah.
Let's talk about the tour that you just got off because I feel like there's a lot to dig in there. You had, I think, like a 6-week North American run as like an album release tour.
Yeah.
It looked insane. What's your vibe coming off that?
Um I feel inspired, which is interesting because a 6-week tour is not something that sounds appealing to me at this point in my life. But
Yeah,
I really had such a good time, and we played with a lot of bands that I've grown up admiring, and a lot of young bands that I feel like just had great energy that's rubbed off on me, and yeah, I feel great. I'm ready for what's next.
yeah. I feel like it was such a cool kind of lineup. And I remember when I saw the flyer, I was like, this is such a bridging of like the old and the new. Because, like you've been doing your thing for a while now, and
Mhm.
you're kind of, part of that old guard, should we say, for like the new kids coming through. But I look at that lineup and I see like Baton Armor, Homefront, incredibly sick bands that are doing
Mhm.
like such cool shit. But then I also see like Crown of Thorns, which would just be like such a crazy thing for you at this point in your career to like be rocking shows with Crown of Thorns. So like, what was that like?
Oh man, I'm pretty good friends with those guys,
Yep.
and I love them as people. And as a band, obviously, probably the most one of the most influential bands in my life.
Hmm.
And I truly think they are the best live hardcore band in current time. They
Okay.
like they just sound and look and cool. They're just like so much cooler than every band doing it, dude. They're like the epitome of cool.
Yeah.
And
Hell yeah.
it was really cool because I feel like right now we're lucky to have kind of like a younger audience,
Hmm.
and played some pretty big shows with Crown of Thorns, and you'd watch, like half the room excited to see Crown of Thorns, and the other half maybe a little too young and didn't really know what the deal was. But
Sure.
then by song 3, 4, 5, they're in the pit, and dude, there was Philly, specifically Philly. I think about just watching the crowd grow crazier and crazier, and then they finished with Juggernaut, and it was like, dude, just a packed out room of psychopaths just losing their mind to Crown of Thorns. It was like, it's just exactly what I've always wanted. The show I wanted to go to when I was a kid. The show I want to go to now. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Do you think if you could like speak back in time to like teenage Justice and be like, your band will be headlining with Crown of Thorns on the lineup, what would teenage Justice say to that?
He'd be Teenage Justice would go crazy. He would love that. But I wouldn't.
would
I
he
wouldn't even tell him.
would he be in that pit getting his teeth fucked up?
For sure. Yeah. But I wouldn't even tell him. I would go back in time and tell Justice, don't do it. I'd be like, bro, hide, run, go get you a carpentry license.
Hell
No,
yeah.
that's not true at all. It's a funny joke, but it's not true at all. I would love to tell my younger self exactly. I think that's so much of like what being an artist gives you. It's the opportunity to bond with and share things with your youngest self, you know?
Listen when I say I'm on the outside. On the outside. On the outside. Jesus, somewhere telephone. He told me to bring myself home. What's the rush? I'm falling in love.
And I feel like we're in this weird cultural moment right now where, nostalgia is a real big thing, and nostalgia sells and is quite marketable. And you see a lot of reunion tours. You see a lot of reunion albums like Converge are still rocking. We've got a Neurosis record. We've got a Poison the Well record. Like big bands are coming back and doing it in a big way. But I feel like you're positioned in this incredibly fortunate space where you're still doing new stuff. You're still kind of like pushing the envelope of what AD can do, and you're still trying to like, I don't know, see new paths and see new ground. So like with the new record out, how are you feeling about Angel Dust 2026?
I think that's just the nature of Angel Dust, is to constantly to evolve and try new things. And I think that spirit of adventure is like what keeps people young and what attracts us to hardcore and punk music. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can do that forever, you know? I
Yeah,
feel like if I got to a place where it was just like reliving a moment of my life repeatedly, I feel like that could get exhausting really fast. Just like
totally.
honoring like a record, like doing the tour on the record we put out, you know, whatever, 20 years ago, whatever. Not that I don't think I put any record out 20 years ago, but that's not true. I've definitely put records out 20. I put out something 20. I was making music 20 years ago. Nothing that I think you'd want to hear about, but yeah, it's just like that would get exhausting. And I love this shit. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm not, and I think that that's like a mentality that our generation came up with. And it's funny you mentioned Converge, because I think that's a band that was very influential on my generation. Like we were
Mm-hmm.
really watching that band always carving out a new lane and recreating themselves, and you know, maintaining a fresh identity. And it was really cool that our record dropped the same day as theirs. You know, hopefully it was. I don't know how that works on the business side of things. I don't, but it's just culturally, it's fucking cool, and that's like a band that I really admire a lot. And it was fun to listen to their new record on at the same time when a record was coming out, and have people kind of comparing them, which very different bands, but they definitely have influenced me and I'm in my journey, and I'm sure they have with everybody in my band. So
She reminded me of the blood-soaked face of Jesus Christ. Okay, alright. I let it go because I know pain is a must. Angel dust. I was hoping never survive.
I ran those albums back to back and I had a great time. So definitely sick to have a release week like that. But I mean, speaking to Converge for a little bit, like they're the kind of band that could absolutely coast off their incredible legacy. But
mhm.
they're also the kind of musicians, the kind of artists that kind of refuse to do that.
Yeah,
And it's funny that you talk about hardcore being this like kind of like a fountain of youth in a way,
yeah,
in a way that makes you want to keep doing this shit forever. Like I had Kurt on the show to talk about that record, and I kind of asked him, and I was like, "Man, the record is like super heavy and super aggressive, but like."
mhm,
You're an old guy. I was like, where does that come from? And he's like, I don't know, man. He's like, I just want to write cool shit. And he's like, and if I'm writing stuff that sounds pissed off and sounds heavy and sounds aggressive, then that's just what I'm going to do. And I bring that up to say that this new AD record is probably the most aggressive one I've heard in a long time. So like
mhm.
what were you tapping into for Cold to the Touch?
I think it's a lot of the same influences that Angel Dust has always had, and Angel Dust has always had a pretty broad spectrum. You
Hmm.
know, there's different team, and this team, it was the most collaborative Angel Dust record. It was like the team made the record. You know, like we
Yeah.
like really wrote a lot of it together, everybody had input. Some people had their own songs that they brought to the team. As where traditionally I just kind of start the beginning, the start of the song. Typically with Angel Dust has always been like I make a song and then the team kind of performs it how they perform it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was different. It was very collaborative. I will say for me, there was like a letting go of some restraints that I put on myself in order to like, I always had this thing where I'm like, oh, I can't do this and I can't do this because that's trapped under racist thing. And I don't want this to be confused. And it's like, but at the end of the day, I'm the guy. Like there should be no boundaries. It's like you create. And I think that was just the goal with this was just to make something authentic to all of us. And without those maybe trapped under racisms, it wouldn't maybe be as authentic to me.
No, I totally feel that. And it's interesting. Like, I was listening to the record the other night in anticipation of this chat, and there's like some of the most introspective, kind of dark songs on this record for a record that is also like quite joyful and upbeat in many ways. And I feel like you're kind of threading the needle between those two modes quite effectively. I wanted to talk to you in particular about Dust because I feel like it's almost like a title track for the band, not even like for the record. I feel like it epitomizes so much of what Angel Dust is about and has been. Can you talk to me about the lyrics on that song in particular? Like what's going on under the hood on Dust?
There's what I'm trying to paint is the visual of like a post-apocalyptic world.
Okay.
Where it's like kind of like every man for himself, like some Mad Max type shit.
Yes.
And these people just took the person that I love the most from me, and I'm just fed up with it all, and it's like time to just go fuck it up. You know what I mean? It's time to go tear it up. But really, what it's speaking to is like the impact of trauma. Like everybody has different traumas, and whatever my trauma isn't even really important in the context of the song. It's just that, like, man, it's like there's people in this world who have problems they deal with, and we have to understand why. It's not about good people versus bad people. It's like I think we all have it in us to do things that we don't identify as us because of the cards we're dealt and our fears that come with those cards.
Everyone has the potential for kind of all shades of the human experience, right? And you often don't know what you're capable of until you're pushed into that particular moment. So yeah, I feel that. You spoke before about the team behind this record and it being the most collaborative Angel Dust record in a while. I kind of wanted to talk to you about that. I know you've been playing with Jim Carrol, who is one of my most like favorite hardcore guitarists of all time. So
me too.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Talk to me about linking up with Jim and having him be a part of the team.
The way we linked up was kind of funny. He goes to the gym with Zach, our bass player. They go to the same gym.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they were training together at the time. I know, I'm pretty sure Jim was training with the owner of the gym that Zach trains at. Zach's like he's a personal trainer and he teaches kickboxing and he does jujitsu and but yeah, me and Zach were on the phone. It was like a bleak moment in Angel Dust history. It was kind of me telling Zach that I was just done. I was like, dude, I can't do this shit no more, dude. I'm like overwhelmed. I had a bad year and it wasn't because of Angel Dust, but Angel Dust at that point was a heavy load on top of the other things that were going on in my life.
Sure.
And, we were down a guitar player, and I was like, hey, it's cool. We're going to cancel everything, and I can't do this. And he was like, oh, no, man, we had a Brazil trip. We're going to Brazil. And I guess Jim overheard him talking about it, and maybe they talked. And Jim was like, oh, yeah, I can learn all your guys' songs. So then I thought he was exaggerating, you know? So I'm talking to Zach on the phone maybe 30 minutes later. He's like, dude, Jim said he'll do it. And I was like, Jim Carrol, like the guy from this band and this band? Like, I was like, that's funny because, you know, like I've literally taken a Jim riff or two and put them on songs of mine, you know?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like that'd be really funny for Jim to learn his riff again and, you know, play it for us. But, you know, at the time I was just like, yeah, like that's, you know, I was like, it's just not feasible. It's not going to work. I don't feel like going through the process of having to vet somebody to do this stuff. And then while I was on the phone with Zach, he was like, hold up, Jim just sent me a video. And then I'm pretty sure he sent him a video if I'm not mistaken. And or audio or something. Jim was playing our songs and like in their entirety within like 30 minutes of seeing Zach, you know what I mean? To where it was like, oh shit. This is gonna be really easy, huh? Like it's not gonna be like a thing we have to go teach him. We don't have to like you know, we don't have to teach him how to be in a band. That's the hardest part. Just learning how to be in a band is like, I think every kid wants to be in a band and you start doing that shit and it's hard. And this is a dude who does that already.
Yeah.
Basically, he was like, I'll see you in Brazil. And I just didn't have a choice anymore. I was like, okay, I guess this guy's playing guitar for us. And we went to Brazil and he like was started planning stuff. Like he'd be like, okay, we're going to do this at this time. You know, we're going to do this. And he was like taking control and like kind of like helping with a lot of things that I really needed help with. So then we're like, all right, we had this other show. Do you want to do that too? And he did this other show with us, and he started like making charts and information, and just kind of became the tour manager by default. And I was like, dude, you have to do this with us. I can't do this without you, man. And it's cool. He's been a great teammate, and just like you said, dude, one of my favorite guitar players in the context of hardcore. I always credit him for being the rock and roll guitar player in hardcore music.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of people try to be that, and they're always wrong. They always miss it, you know? And I've just referenced him a lot because that's like a lot of the identity of Angel Dust is being like, yo, Angel Dust rock and roll band or whatever, you know? And yeah, I think he's one of the few people that has made me be like, oh, you can do that. These things are interchangeable. They are the same thing. My whole belief system in hardcore music and rock and roll is based around that idea. It's like it's not far removed from rock. It's just we're playing rock and roll music a little faster with a little more distortion. Sometimes there's a mosh part. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't think ZZ Top was doing anything that different than what Angel Dust is doing. But I mean, they looked a lot cooler for sure. But
Are you gonna grow a big beard and go full ZZ?
I had that phase, dude. I like low key during COVID, I grew my beard out really long while we were recording Yak. But it wasn't, you know, it was like nobody wanted nothing to do it. Nobody wanted to smell that beard. You know what I'm saying? Your girl ain't trying to smooch when you looking like ZZ Top.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of growing mine out like the other week because my wife and I just had our first child. So we've been kind of like bunking down at home, just kind of getting through the trenches of that.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you, brother. And I let my beard grow out and it was, getting to the point where I was like, this is kind of fucked up. I need to get rid of it. And my wife was like, no, I like it. Keep it. And I was like, sorry, babe. Can't do it. It's gotta go. Like I don't feel me when I'm walking around with this like fucking hairy baggage on my head. So I gotta get rid of that shit.
Wow. It's usually the other way around.
I know. But she's a real one. I want to kind of change topic now because I saw you share I think it was just like a birthday post for Iggy the other day.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. The Justice rocks with Iggy. But then it got me thinking, and I was like, okay, if I could ask him, what would be your Mount Rushmore of like real rockers, like lifetime rockers?
I mean, definitely Iggy Pop is number one.
Okay.
Shit, man. Prince has to be on there.
Okay. Nice.
Bowie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Probably Lou Reed. You get
Ooh,
Mount
okay.
Rushmore is 4, right? Yeah.
Yeah, four will do it. Yeah.
I think that covers it.
I mean that covers like a very wide spectrum of rock music right there.
Yeah. I mean, like, when I'm talking about the forefather, like the people who did it earlier, because I feel like after that you're getting into, I would definitely say HR is up there, but he was just a little bit later to where it's like rock was so, like, rock proper was established. But then once you start getting into the hardcore spectrum of where hardcore became the new identity of rock and roll, which is something I like to talk about a lot, where it's like we have rock and roll music and it's manifested itself in a lot of different ways, but nothing has been as authentic as hardcore music since hardcore music's inception.
Yes, 100%.
And this is my secondary, this is my hardcore Mount Rushmore. You know what I'm saying? You got HR, you got Ezek, Scott Vogel.
Yes, of course.
This next one's tough. There's a couple people that we could shit, man. I gotta say John Brannon.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's cool. We can we can run that like back to back and just have like an extended Mount Rushmore. So you got like yeah 8 faces up there. We'll kind of wrap up the chat now, dude. But I wanted to kind of touch on the tour that you're doing, obviously. So you've got an Australian run with Super Heaven here in a few weeks, and
Yes.
then I think I saw that you're heading straight to the UK and you're doing like a run with Speedway pretty much straight after that. Is that right?
Yeah, we start in Italy and do a couple European dates and then
Okay.
take the ferry to the UK and yeah.
Nice. I mean, it's going to be a busy couple of weeks for you, man. You're like doing that huge 6-week run straight into the dentist, straight into Australia, straight into Europe and the UK. That's real shit.
Yeah. Get back, we fly straight back to we play a fest in Detroit. Tied Down Fest.
Hell yeah. With the Australian run, I guess like you've been here before a number of times. Tell me your favorite spot to play and then your favorite spot to do anything that isn't playing a show. So like food spot, coffee spot, place to hang out, just like wherever you're kind of kicking it off tour.
So I'm bad at this one because of the type of ADHD I have. I don't remember like play and just been like touring. Like I've been on tour my whole life, so like
Yes.
venues names and stuff like that escape me. But I will say I've obviously Sydney is a really special city, and we
Yes.
have a lot of great friends there. Great bands that I love from there. Obviously, Royal Headache is a cool band.
Oh, incredible band, incredible!
Yeah.
I keep trying to get Shogun on the show. I like do
Oh, no
I do
way.
reply guy shit in his DMs like every couple of months, and I'm like, man, come on the show, please. I want to chat.
I'll start bugging him too to get on your show. I'll start DMing him.
Thank you. I need the justice bump. But he's an incredible frontman, and like that the stuff he did with Royal Headache is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Are you rocking with his new band Antenna?
So when they first put out music, I was aware of it and I was really excited. But I heard, maybe I'm mistaken because I haven't actually got to listen to this. It's funny, I was just talking about this the other day. Did Antenna put out newer music since the first release they did?
Yeah, so they put out an EP.
Mhm.
Shit, I want to say like 2024, towards the end
Okay.
of 2024. They put out an EP. It's out on Last Ride. Like Matto put it out. And then they just put out a new song earlier this year. And I know that they're working on an album. I was talking to Shogun over IG, and he just started sending me videos of him like in the studio and just like playing songs. And I was like, see, this is sick. This is the type of stuff that I want, but just like do it on my show. Don't do it in my Instagram DMs. But yeah, they're cooking something. They got an album coming.
He's funny. I met him in LA one time and I was just trying to punish him about Royal Headache and rock and roll music. And he was like,
Yeah.
dude, I don't care. I just want to talk about hardcore. He was like, just so excited about hardcore music. And
Yes.
really, it's cool to see, a musician of his caliber that still has an understanding and appreciation for hardcore music.
Yeah, like I mean, I saw him the other day, and he was just like sinking pints at like a cross punk show. So like, he's he's a real one. Like he's a soulful motherfucker, but he's a real one.
Dude, I'm trying to sink a pint of cider with him. Got to get him to the gig.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it. I'll put in a word for you. I'll be like, Justice wants the link up. You got to show him the time.
You're gonna come to the show and kick it?
Yeah, dude, I definitely want to for sure. yeah, I want to see the new material live. I've seen you guys here. Shit, it would be a long time ago, but it was definitely like before COVID, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to come out and yeah, I want to see Super Heaven as well. Like Secret World are on that tour as well. Great band. So the whole
Dude, they're
lineup
the coolest.
is
I'm
killer.
excited to hang out with those guys.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show, dude. We might wrap up the chat here.
Thank you, bud. Appreciate you.
Hello, Owen popping in to say, please sign up for the TPD Patreon. This is what helps us keep the lights on and keep the show going. The link is at the bottom of your screen right now, patreon.com/tpdpod. All of our patrons get exclusive access to Side B of our roundup episodes, so you get a few extra tracks, as well as our feature album discussion and the full show experience. Our patrons also get exclusive access to behind the scenes, off the cuff chit chat from all of our guest episodes. But the patrons are the ones who make all of this happen. For as little as $5 a month, you can sign up to the TPD Patreon, and it really helps us out, really helps us keep the show going. So shout out to all of our patrons, shout out to our executive producer patrons. You're the real ones. And yeah, thank you so much for watching the show.